The Everywhen changed everything. When Santa Monica said gods from across all mythologies come together in this run, they just opened a door that has never been opened in a video game franchise at this level. Any god, from any tradition, from any point in history who died, is potentially in there. So today we're going through the 10 bosses I think Faye is most likely to find. And I'm going to be upfront. Two of these are confirmed from the reveal. The rest is my reasoning, grounded in the mythology and the lore. No clickbait. Let's get right into it. Beksa, the Tibetan Buddhist god of war with deep roots in Mongolian military tradition. Three-eyed, built like a wall and confirmed as Faye's first major fight in the entire game. He basically serves as Sekhmet's enforcer, an afterlife bouncer standing between Faye and any chance of escape. He's also the way the game tells you that this is how hard it's going to be from minute one. A Mongolian war god as your tutorial boss. Good luck with that. Now we go somewhere the rest of the internet isn't talking about yet. The Morrigan, Irish goddess of fate, war, and death. A shapeshifter. She has appeared on battlefields in Celtic mythology, not to fight, but to decide who lived and who died before the first sword was even swung. And she's also one of the most famous figures in all of Celtic mythology. She's been used in countless games, but has never in 21 years appeared in God of War. A pre reveal leak specifically named Mesoamerican mythology as part of the Everyone. And when you look at the reveal footage closely, the visual influences are already there. Most people assume that means Quetzalcoatl, the famous feathered serpent. But the pick I find more interesting is Tlaloc, the Aztec god of rain, lightning, water, and sacrifice. And here's the detail that makes him perfect for this setting. Tlaloc already ruled his own afterlife realm, called Tlalocan. In Aztec belief, people who drowned or were struck by lightning went to Tlaloc's pocket of paradise, not the standard underworld. So you're putting a god who had his own death domain inside someone else's death domain. He would be territorial, resentful, dangerous in ways that aren't just about raw power, but about a being whose entire authority has been stripped away by the Everyone itself. This one needs almost no explanation, which is exactly why it's buried at number 4 instead of number 1. Before the events of God of War 2018, Faye, using the Leviathan axe she gifted to Kratos, gave Thor one of the worst beatings of his immortal life. That's established canon. Thor dies at the end of Ragnarok. He ends up in the Everyone. She doesn't have the Leviathan axe anymore, Kratos has it, but she now has a legendary new sword and powers we've never seen from her. A rematch between Faye and Thor is definitely on the cards. Japanese mythology, Shinto. Asian visual influence was explicitly confirmed in the reveal footage. Izanami is the queen of Yomi, the Japanese underworld. In the original myth, she died giving birth to fire and descended into the land of the dead. Her husband tried to bring her back and failed. She became the ruler of everything that dies. In the Everyone, which is the afterlife above all other afterlives, Izanami would arrive stripped of the authority she commanded in her own realm. Ares, the original god of war, the god who manipulated Kratos into killing his own wife and daughter, the event that set the entire franchise into motion. He's dead. Kratos killed him in the very first game, and under the rules of the Everyone, he's in there somewhere. Now think about what that means for Faye specifically. She's the woman who helped Kratos heal from what Ares did. She spent years rebuilding the man that Ares broke. Putting her face to face with the architect of her husband's greatest trauma, in the afterlife where neither of them can die, is one of the most emotionally loaded encounters you could design. Ares wouldn't need to be the main villain. He could just be a mid-game revolution that hits harder than any boss fight in the game, purely because of what he represents to Faye and Kratos' whole reason for existence. Mayan mythology. Camazotz is the bat god of death and the ruler of Xibalba, the Mayan underworld. He's old, he's monstrous, and he's something most people don't know. DC Comics drew directly from Camazotz when building Batman's visual mythology. The name itself means death bat. He predates a lot of the mythology we're more familiar with in Western pop culture. Mayan influence is also in the reveal footage. His entire character arc in the Norse saga was an obsession with a single question: what happens to the gods when they die? He spent millennia chasing that answer, manipulated, betrayed, and destroyed countless people in the process. And then Kratos' son killed him. So, what's the answer Odin spent his entire existence searching for? The Everyone. He ends up in that exact realm he was trying to reach. And knowing Odin, knowing how quickly his mind works and how ruthless he can be, the first thing he does when he arrives is figure out how to take it over. A late game Odin encountered in the Everywhen, when he's had time to scheme and plot and understand this realm better than Faye does, is the most narratively satisfying thing this game could do with the Norse mythology it already has. The one who started it all for Faye. Born from the Eye of Ra, the goddess of war, vengeance, heat, and plague, Sekhmet is confirmed as the primary early antagonist. She's the one who captures Faye in the opening and throws her in a cage. But I'd push back on people who are treating her as just an opening boss. Look at how she's been described and framed. The giant dog companion, the solar fire abilities, the immediate command she has over the everyone's environment. This isn't just some warm-up fight. Santa Monica framed Sekhmet the same way they framed Freya in Ragnarok. Someone you clash with early, then spend the whole game on a slow burn collision course with. She's not the first boss you meet and move on from. She's the presence that this entire game would be built around. Urshkigal, Queen of the Dead in Sumerian mythology. And the reason she's number 10 isn't because she's the least likely, it's because she's the most conceptually interesting. The Sumerians predate the Greeks. Their mythology is among the oldest recorded in human history. If the Everyone is the afterlife where all dead gods eventually end up, Ereshkigal arrived first. She's been there longer than anyone. While other gods are fighting over territory and power, she's the one sitting quietly in a corner who already knows every inch of this place. So that's the 10. Two confirmed, the rest speculation. But speculation grounded in mythology and the lore Santa Monica has already laid out. The Everyone is the most ambitious setting in this franchise's history, and we've only seen 20 minutes of it. Drop your picks in the comments. Who you think Faye is actually going to fight? And if you want the full breakdown of why this game might struggle to match the Kratos era commercially, that video is right here. Subscribe if you're into this kind of deep dive. I'll see you all in the next one.